Okay, cool. Guys, we are up, we are live inside the Fox 5 DC Digital Newsroom here with Terrence. And it's Halloween, so happy Halloween, guys. Tuesday, October 31st, of course. We're so glad that you're joining us on our live stream. As you can see, we're semi-dressed up, right, for the occasion. We had an awesome special, our Good Day DC Halloween special this morning at 10 a.m. and it was so fun to watch, and every character was so into it, and we live snapped it and Instagrammed it so hard, Terrence.
Yeah.
Like, Bryson and I were like all in it. You guys can see all those videos if you missed it on our Snapchat and our Insta. So, were you up there?
It was a great show, yeah. I came towards the end. Everybody that was part of the live audience,
yeah.
I'm sure they had a great time. There was food, lots of candy.
Mm-hmm.
But
drinks.
Drinks, yeah.
There were 30 people, about 30 people in our live audience, and they do this every year. I think this was the best year yet, that's what they're saying. And they packed it in, they hyped it up, and everyone was super excited.
The way they decorated the studio was amazing.
Oh my gosh, the decorations were amazing.
That's crazy.
The lighting was insane. There were these guys falling from the sky.
Spiders everywhere. Oh.
So it was quite creepy, but hey, I have my little panda hat on. I changed. I was in, okay, a friend of mine got me this in China, and when I was in China actually, and so it's comfortable now, so I'm actually gonna wear this, but before I had my mouse ears on, which is kind of a throwback to Mean Girls, if you guys remember, when she's like, I'm a mouse.
Oh.
Duh. So I have some people, okay, great, I want to see some costumes in the newsroom, guys. Come join us. This is Monica. Can you guys guess what she is? If you're on the live chat and you're the stream, can you guess what it is? I don't want to tell anybody yet. I want it to be a surprise. I mean, this is to devil it up a little bit, right? And let me see this. This is amazing. Lots of people in these dresses, amazing makeup. And speaking of that, we're going to have, hopefully, if Tam Lee can drop by. Tam Lee, you probably have seen her on our morning show sometimes, or maybe in our snaps. She pretty much was the mastermind behind our costumes and a lot of our makeup and costumes. So she'll be coming by if she can. I know she's somewhere in the newsroom to talk about a little bit behind the scenes of what that was all about. But so I have my mask on, but actually I'm more comfortable in this. So I'm going to put my panda hat back on. I like it. I love it. MT, you're a wizard.
I'm the wizard, the IT wizard for the building today and every other
Oh,
day.
yeah, that's perfect, actually. I didn't It's a cute hat. Where'd you obtain that? Was that a hard one to get?
This is at Party City for like $7.99.
Nice. Okay, so does anyone? No one's really chatting on the chat, but we're gonna tell you where did you get this idea from? How did it all get inspired?
Online. Something to do right away, quick and easy. But yeah, I just kind of Googled it and just did it on my own. Went to Michael's. Okay. Marker.
So everybody know what it is? Any guesses?
Monica, because this is
Shout out.
Very creative idea.
Anything homemade, anything creative, and like you said, kind of punny. And this is definitely a pun, which we all love in here.
Yes.
Everybody say it at the same time what it is. 1, 2, 3. Deviled egg. Yes. I love it. So good. So she's the deviled egg. It's cute and simple. And you're upstairs doing some stuff today?
Yes. We're going to have a staff party, which will be fun.
Oh, yeah.
And we're encouraging the staff to go trick-or-treating department to department. It's going to be extra fun. We're
so
all excited.
Cute.
Yes.
It's so cool to have the office come together. It's a day to be a kid. Yes. We're all kind of in the festive spirit. And honestly, it gives us a little break from throwing this feed to Capitol Hill and the Senate. Yeah. It gives you a little look inside our newsroom and what people are excited about today and how adults can still have fun on Halloween, right?
Absolutely.
It's super
and
fun.
Still get work done.
Yes. I love it. Well, we're so excited to kind of show you the newsroom. We're hoping that some people were going to pop by, and we'll see if they do. We're going to kind of keep this camera rolling for a little bit to just give you an inside look. But again, really awesome show this morning. You can check our Snapchat, Fox5DC, and our Instagram, Fox5DC, to see more of the video and the behind-the-scenes footage that Raisa, who is usually here on the show in the morning, but she has to run out a little early today. So we're kind of compiling video and pictures of the day and kind of getting that out to you. We have fun with it. I'm really fun. Anything creative like this, I think all of us in here love like the acting and the creative and the film. So in a sense, it is sort of a whole like it's a shtick, right? It's an act.
The studio was beautiful.
It's gorgeous. We were just talking about it.
Job. Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god. So now you're back to some day-to-day duties, but you're working on the staff thing, the staff party. So we go around to different departments.
Yes.
I'm excited to see how that works. I've never done this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so great. Well, thanks, guys. I don't want to keep you too long. But
yes, thanks for having us. Molly's great.
Thanks for watching, guys. All right, T is going to fill us in a little more on some sports. I guess let's chat a little bit Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football.
Got to keep that sports, keep it.
So last night was the Denver Broncos versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Divisional game.
Okay.
A very crucial divisional game.
And
Chiefs came out on top.
The Chiefs came out on top, which I will also say, again, I don't want to just plug my team, but the Patriots lost to the Chiefs in their first season game this year. Really interesting to see the Chiefs now beat the Broncos.
The Chiefs are a very well-rounded team. They have a veteran coach, and they've got Alex Smith. So, their team is so stacked. I think that they are potentials for playoffs, definitely maybe Super Bowl at one point. at this point, I think that they are the best team in the AFC.
That's
my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. When I saw the win, I was kind of watching a little bit on my phone, but doing some other things, prepping for Halloween and whatnot. I thought it was interesting to see that. So pretty interesting, Monday Night Football game. And we go into the week. You were at Redskins Cowboys Sunday.
Made it.
He made it, and
I
didn't.
Game.
I was telling you guys. Let's switch cameras really quick. I was telling you guys that I was hoping to go, and that was my goal, and I had a little bit of connect, and then I wasn't able to pull that off. But it was raining, and
it was pouring raining. It was a thunderstorm out there, and I was soaked, but I made it.
So cool. I saw some of the Snapchats. You were down low.
I was real low. I was like field level. Yes.
Big time.
It was a mission. I got to tailgate for the first time. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Oh, was that really cool for the? Yeah. Now tell me this: did you get a glimpse of our very special friend Tailgate Ted, who comes on the morning show on Fridays, usually before a game, and he shows off his tailgate for the week? He's amazing. You didn't get to see him,
but I did see a former Dallas Cowboys player that's from Manassas, Virginia.
Oh, cool.
He goes by the name Lucky Whitehead.
So fun.
So I saw his truck parked in the handicap. He double parked too. Lucky, we're coming after you. No, I'm just joking, but
oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I would have loved to get to see some of the big famous tailgates, and of course support Tailgate Ted, who comes on with us. He's at Tailgate Ted on all the handles, and he's so awesome. He always promos the game with some type of cuisine from the opposing team, and he's really involved, really into football, knows what he's talking about.
Shout out to Tailgate Ted. Yeah, he definitely does it very well.
Shout out. Yeah. So you got to kind of glimpse around. You saw the old player tailgate. You got in the stadium. It looks like a fun time.
When we finally got in the stadium, it was a great game. That game was insane.
I was keeping watching it. What were the highlights?
It was it was really rainy, so it was very slippery. A lot of mistakes. Ezekiel Elliott had the fumble, but he redeemed himself very quickly with the touchdown right after. The game kind of went down to the wire. Cousins had a chance to come back with 30 seconds left on the clock. I think he had the ball, no timeouts, but he took the pick. Byron Jones took the pick six, took it home, and that was a wrap. So
you had a great day.
Yeah,
you and your stars. You even got the Cowboy star on today.
Yes, exactly.
It's a secret kind of
subliminal.
Hint, right? Yeah, subliminal message of a Cowboys fan in the Redskins territory and world. But we can't all be, the fans of the home team.
So and now October's ending, so November is going to be a tough stretch for football.
Yeah, guys, Halloween, All Saints Day tomorrow. It is October 31st, obviously Halloween. So if you're just joining us on the stream, welcome. We're here with a little bit of garb, a little bit of Halloween stuff, whatever we could pull off for the occasion, because we had a huge morning show where we were surprising everybody. The theme was our EP and our awesome producers from the morning put together a big Justice League themed show. We had Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman.
Aquaman.
Aquaman was there. Everybody showed up. Catwoman. It was pretty sick. Batgirl, Supergirl.
Yeah.
And then these little spiders falling from the sky. And there was one moment, there was a lot of cool tricks that they threw in, but there was this big tarantula looking thing that fell down. And then Superman comes up to it and wards it away. He did his move.
There was also some of the elements from Captain Planet. If anybody remembers that show.
Oh, what were the elements? Because I think I missed it. Because
Earth was upstairs. Kwame, Earth was up there.
He was dressed?
Yes. Oh. He had the Captain Planet.
Was it one of ours or one of our guests?
I think it was one of the guests.
So cool. And they did do that. Didn't they do the Earth?
Yeah.
What did they say? What was it again?
Wind, fire, water, heart.
Oh, the heart. They're all combined?
I am Captain Planet.
Captain Planet doesn't count. That's not fair, but it was cool.
Yeah, wait, that's very creative.
I thought they said do the powers combined. Is that what they say at the end? Earth?
Yeah, that's what Captain Planet says. He says, with your powers combined.
With your powers combined.
Captain Planet.
Totally childhood memories. Really big throwback there. So we want to keep it lively and interesting for you guys. We wanted to show you some more faces around the newsroom. If people do come by, we'll show you what they're wearing. Teasers is pretty good. Yeah. And I was showing you guys, if you didn't see, I had this on for the morning because I wanted to be my mouse. But I really couldn't decide. I have this bin. I honestly love costumes. I've done a lot of this stuff, so I have a bin underneath my bed, and I was like, there's so many outfits. I could do Pocahontas, I could do this princess, whatever. So I just brought what I had, and I ended up just wearing a headpiece. So this is cool.
You can switch it out.
Yeah, I'll switch it. I kind of like the panda because it's soft. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know where you're watching from and what you guys thought. If any of you caught some of our social media for the morning show, we were able to get a really great Instagram live that is still up, as well as some video and some snaps. So if you guys want to check it out, you can do it there. And we had a great time.
Yeah,
So
check out the social feeds, you know. Check out fox5dc.com.
yeah, do you check it? Are you gonna jump on my stream again?
Absolutely, I'll be back.
Also, we have a nice little newsroom party going on at 1, so we're gonna take a quick little break. But I'll throw you some video or some, stills, a bump shot of something live, and we'll go up there and enjoy the Halloween party.
Oh yeah.
I'm really excited for the candy. Although there's gonna be candy rampant in the office for like days now, and I'm not really thrilled about that.
Oh Lord.
It's not really necessarily something I'm ready for, I can handle. I was trying to be, a little cleaner, but it's Halloween, right?
Oh, there's
And
a
it's
missing
oh my
milk.
God,
There's a
I'm
missing person in the
milk.
milk.
At least show us.
We found them.
I love seeing
We
these like
found them.
subliminal, really cute little creative costumes. Sarah, tell me your inspiration behind this and just what made you think of it.
My son loves milk.
It's
And
the
there's
best
always
answer.
a kid missing on the milk carton.
It's
That's very true.
Yes.
I remember as a kid looking at that all the time.
Right. It made you think twice as a kid, didn't it?
It
You're going to
does.
be inside when the lights come on and you're not going to be on the street.
You're right. I
So-
would sit and eat my cereal, and that's what you look at every day because you're
Right.
kind of looking at the box.
Every
and,
day. Yes.
Right, the missing
So if you've
milk.
seen this girl, please contact
call.
police.
I love it.
Because
So
she's
creative.
missing. She needs to be found.
So creative,
Yes.
so good. You
This
had fun
is
with it.
fun.
Did you have a good time in the show? Watching the show?
I did.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
So many great people, amazing costumes. Like you were saying, the set.
Yeah.
The set really makes it. The lighting, the
And
set.
they really get into it.
I
Like,
love that.
love that Maureen crawled in as
Me
like
too.
Catwoman and stuff.
Hey,
like, it was
Fitz.
just
Fitz is in
great.
the house.
Hi, Fitz.
A little early today. He's doing some politics.
Missing.
Oh,
He's gonna get
contact police
creative.
if
You
you see him.
do like Halloween? You're a Halloween guy. You have your orange. You have your orange on.
it's the best Halloween.
All right.
Aw, he's a Halloweeny.
But his daughter, we'll get into it. Your daughter will get into it tonight.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we celebrate all the major pagan holidays.
You have loads of candy, Fitz.
Gotta love the answers.
You have loads of candy.
We have. I should probably come on mic.
Yeah.
We have tons of candy.
All right.
Please come and get it.
Bring it.
Otherwise, my lard butt winds up eating it all.
Right? That's how I feel about the newsroom. It's gonna be scattered everywhere.
Please come.
Every day.
Please come to my house and get candy.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you the address.
Thanks, Fitz. Yeah, but it was just such a cool show. And speaking of that, Tam Lee is about to walk over here. And I want to get her over here. So whoever, yeah.
Come on
over
in,
here.
Tam.
Yeah.
All right, bye, Terry. We'll see her again. Tam is going to chill with us for a second. This is one of the masterminds behind the costuming today. You guys probably recognize Tam from doing some of the morning, a lot of morning hits with fashion and boutiques. And you know Tam from the
Yes,
show.
Tam.
Justin, come in for the camera. You got to show us. Just at least do a spin.
Justin.
Do a little spin.
in.
You're so cute.
cameo.
He was so
This is an
snuggly all morning.
unofficial costume right here, but
Yeah.
it works.
I love
right?
how snuggly and
a
cutesy
comfortable
he is.
costume.
You guys
Yeah.
saw him promo it. Now we can finally talk about it. They did a great job. Justin, one of the planners, planning
about
producers
that
for the
later.
morning. And he's a snuggy little onesie caravan.
Yeah,
He's
I know.
so
We're
cute.
talking about costumes, Justin.
A quick little bite about your.
Like,
What is it? A onesie?
comfortable. I gotta go to work. I still want to
Yeah.
be kind of.
This is that costume you get when you don't really want to do much.
Easy, but you
But
can
you
just
wanna
chill in
be-
It
it.
was either this or do too much. So
He
to
opted.
do.
He opted for
And
that.
this is roll out of bed, just come to work, but you're still in the.
but you're still
you know,
being
Halloween.
cute though.
It's so cute. Thanks,
it
Justin.
is, it is.
So Tama's got to tell us what
my
went
goodness.
into this because it was so intricate, right? T, you were watching like some of the just the details of these costumes.
Yeah, some of them are.
Tell us about the intricacy
Well,
and what
let
happened.
me tell you, first of all, I thought that this year was going to be super easy because we picked superheroes.
Right.
And so the last 2 years, we've done celebrities. And so celebrity looks are always they're more detailed, because I'm actually finding the exact pieces or very similar pieces that the celebrities wore. So, to me, that's a little more research.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really digging. But superheroes. It's
You think it's like in a
know,
box, you're ready, it's
like,
good, it's put
oh,
together.
this is a piece of cake.
Right.
I'm like, oh, my work is easy.
Yeah, not the case. What was
no,
so
no.
tough? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So first of all, I wanted it to be like really authentic. I didn't want to get the in the box costume, the $30 costume.
Yeah.
No shade to everybody who wears $30 costume,
No,
but this
but
is the
for the
news,
show,
you know?
we wanna
So,
make it- details.
We have a reputation to uphold, and so every year, people look forward to this show, and so I wanted to make sure that it was authentic as possible. So I found 4 of the costumes were actually really the real costumes, and so I rented them from a place out in LA, and they came with
I didn't
like
know this.
10 different layers.
What were some of those? Can you name some of them? that
So
were the
back Batgirl.
Wow.
That was Allison. Allison's
Lovely.
costume had like 10 pieces.
So it was so
it was like 10 pieces
put
to
together.
it. Yeah,
It's
it was a
amazing.
corset. It was like the pants, the corset,
looked great.
then the shield, and then this and that. And I'm like, Allison.
And she's a
you're
star.
probably
She's got to
gonna be
look
hot,
proper. Yeah,
but,
she was hot.
But beauty is pain. So
Oh
go out
my
there and
God,
get
I
it, yeah.
Beauty is
But-
pain.
Right?
Yeah.
For Halloween costumes,
Yeah, I know.
no holds barred. Anything
Yeah, I
goes
mean,
with
she
that.
had like this necklace piece that went with the costume. I mean, it was so many different layers, but it was so awesome.
Loved it.
Another one was Tucker's. Tucker's
Robin.
costume. Yeah,
Robin's sidekick.
costume was really, really big. It was bulky. It was heavy, and it was so real. Like, it was really awesome.
The rented.
Yeah,
And what else?
that was good. And then we had Wisdom. Wisdom, he didn't
do the full
He didn't
outfit,
do the
but it
full
looked
outfit,
really
so you guys
good.
couldn't see the whole entire
The
thing.
Superman, his top looked amazing.
Yeah, but Steve's
also
was
LA.
another one that was
That's
so
so
awesome.
cool. His looked really good. There were a lot of parts to that.
Yeah, it was a lot
It
of
was
parts
heavy,
to that.
too,
There were a lot of
ish.
parts to that. Even he had boot covers down to the leg pieces that tied around your leg. I mean, it was so many different
Yeah.
parts to that. So
Did you catch that one?
yeah, it was a lot of fun. But it was what was most interesting for me though, outside of the rented costumes that we got, was Joker. The Joker, Paul.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that was
did a good
something that
job.
came together like really last night.
Really?
Like it was I was sweating.
never
like this
know that.
morning I was sweating because when the costume came, it was like, oh no.
How do we finagle
I'm not
this?
really liking this. It's not really great. And Paul is fashionable. So it's like,
Totally.
okay, he's going to kill me if I don't, completely do his costume right. So, so what I did was it came as a one piece, but I cut the jacket up the middle, and I made a couple alterations to try to make it look, a little
So
more
she did some
swagged
wardrobe,
out.
some
Yeah,
altering.
I did do
You
some
did some
altering to that.
creative.
And then we took a shirt that had a tattoo on it. We glued it onto his chest. We put some chains on top. It was a lot of layers to his outfit.
But what's interesting is I commented right at the beginning that the Joker looked so good. Everyone was saying that. Obviously, the makeup also was amazing. And that the Joker is also a character such that it needs to be intricate. It needs to be that exact. It is like he embodies this creative thing, and it's hard to kind of do.
And his personality, of course, he could pull that off.
So good. He
So
was
it was
dancing around.
so much fun. Harley Quinn, she was fun.
Yes.
With the little ponytails. That was super fun. So I had fun doing it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to next year. We are already sitting here brainstorming.
Really?
Like, okay, 2017 in the pocket. What do we do for 2018? I don't know.
Because people were telling me this was, and I haven't been here for a previous one, but they were saying this is one of the better ones, if not the best so far.
Yeah. I had fun last year. Was Beyonce, the Lemonade, where Allison had
celebrities. That sounds really great. I didn't get to see it. You were there for that? Tell us
and
how it
Paul
compares.
was Drake. We did
Oh,
a lot of
that's
great.
cool.
We did a lot of great celebrities, and then the year before
love celebs.
that was the year that Kim Kardashian was pregnant. So Allison did
Was
the
pregnant
baby
Kim?
bump. Yeah, it was
I didn't even
really
know that.
cool.
That's great.
So we've had lots of fun with the anchors and just pulling off different looks. So
I love
I'm super
it.
excited to be a part of the team.
I love it. Tam is such a part of the team, and you can
Yeah.
see her often doing her fashion hits on the morning show.
Yeah,
on Good Day
absolutely.
DC. She
Good
does
Day DC.
the boots.
I keep you
and
guys in the fashion now.
She does. And where can we follow you, Tam? Your handle?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Boutique Hush, and you can shop with me, lovehushboutique.com.
So it's at Boutique Hush. That's one word. Boutique as in the store.
Yeah.
And
And
steal
you
your
can
stuff.
shop with me, lovehushboutique.com. And you
Awesome.
can catch me on Good Day DC. Usually I'm on about twice a month.
Yeah.
Talking fashion.
Yep.
Keeping you guys in the fashion now.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Tam, for
you're
hanging out. And thanks for
welcome.
giving us your time. We'll sign her back to be back to tea.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a good day.
Yeah, I'm off. I'm going to sleep.
That's what everyone was saying. They're like, we're done. We just did 8 hours. We are checking out. Okay, so we'll slide this one back if anyone wants to join us. And T is back to roll in. So anyway, guys, just checking in with you for coming on the stream. We are just doing our live midday show, so anything live and breaking, any video to show you. And we do seem to have some stuff coming in from the president and Capitol Hill. So we want to make sure you're kind of in the know of that before. I guess we have an hour before we wind down a little bit to go up to our little Halloween gathering newsroom party where we trick or treat upstairs to all the departments, including IT. Right? IT. Are you guys doing something?
IT, we're a small union, but we will be
But
collecting
they do
candy.
so much
Yeah.
for us.
I will be around collecting candy from various other
Collecting
departments.
candy or giving it out?
Collecting.
I thought.
My job is to collect candy.
What are you, the tax? Okay.
Yeah, I just fix computers. and collect candy.
He does. He has fixed mine many times when I have issues.
all.
But we're going with sort of the dark Halloween look. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this little insight into what people are doing today for the show. And if we can grab anybody else, I would. But I know people are kind of getting out of costume and going to bed.
If you get a chance to get Joker here, ASAP,
I know, but I don't know if he stayed around. That would be really cool. I see Harley Quinn, but I think she's taking her stuff off. Oh, there's the milk. Okay, so maybe we should get into some serious news. But anything else to report about? I guess we talked about the Redskins. What else are we working on this week? I guess we go into Thursday night football. And then the weekend.
Over the weekend, the World Series, Houston. Astros got the lead.
It was crazy, and people stayed up late for that game.
I did too. It went up to
for Game 5.
Yeah, it was like 11 innings, I think. It was something crazy. I was like dozing.
And it was going back and forth, right? The runs were going back and forth.
The score was like 12 to 11 or something crazy.
What's the series at right now?
It's 3-2. 3-2, I think.
Houston.
Houston.
Yeah.
So they're gonna play again.
It's gonna be a good one.
Today is game 7.
Guys, if you are just joining us, I see some people jumping on the stream. We are Fox 5 Live here in the Fox 5 DC Digital Newsroom. You can see behind me, that's our sign. It says our YouTube stream, kind of giving you an inside look at the newsroom during the middle of the day. And it is Halloween, so we're kind of a little festive today. We're seeing what people are dressed up as, and we're coming down from the energy of our morning show. But we can get into some serious stuff when we have some videos coming in. But I want to remind you that you can subscribe to our channel by clicking the red button right below our faces here on your stream, so then you can kind of get alerts on your phone as to when we come up live, and you know, I can forward these emails to my friends who are on it. But some of you are already members, which is great. So if you are, thanks for coming on today, and feel free to chat with us. Tell us what you like, what you don't. Care Bear walking by, look at that. He's all snuggly. Just give him the side eye. I'm waiting for some more costumes to walk by, but I swear, like, people are kind of winding down from it because they were heavy and they were intricate, like you were hearing from Tam. And I know Kim Lee was doing a lot of the makeup, but I'm not sure if she's around. But the makeup was so amazing. Obviously for the Joker and for everybody else, just all the eyes and the face and everything that had to be done, the lips on all the characters. They did a really good job. So we'll have T kind of roaming around. Maybe we'll come back on for you guys, but we'll throw it over to President Trump, a little tape playback of him in the White House, and we'll give you as much as we have it, guys. A pool spray from the president today, and then we'll switch it up and go over to the Senate. So a lot of political video. We'll keep it live. We'll keep it fresh. Stay on with us here, and we'll see you back in the newsroom soon.
Waiting a long time for an administration and a president and a willing Congress to do what we haven't done for many decades. We think we were lucky to arrange a budget, so we're going to have a better opportunity in the Senate. I think you're right. There are some members of the Democratic legislature that will come around on some of this, particularly if the numbers are as promised. And you've hit it right on the head. We've got to work on it. We're going to have some differences amongst the business community on what should be the takeaways in the ads, but we just have to work on that. And I think your planning is really quite good. Off to Asia and everybody else get it worked out, and then come back and we'll see what we can do.
Come back and let's see what we have. Right?
Thank you very much.
Well, I appreciate it very much. And what you said is important. We did get the budget passed, and as you know, that was a big event because that doesn't often happen. And we got it fairly easily passed. I think we had a couple of extra votes if we needed them, and more than a couple of votes if we needed them. There's great spirit for this. The Republicans have a tremendous spirit. We'll have no Democrat support. We may have on the tax cuts because I think it's going to be very hard for 5 or 6 of them to run successfully saying they want to raise taxes. Look, the Democrats want to raise taxes and really create obstruction. And the Republicans want to lower taxes, and we want to get rid of regulations. I've gotten rid of more regulations in the first 9 months than any president has for their term in office. That's a big statement, but we've really just begun. I would say we have at least another 50% that we want to do. So that's going to be fantastic. And in some cases, it's statutory where you have to give a notice, and then you have to give another notice, and you have to wait 90 days. But we've gone along that statutory process. And I will tell you, Tom, you're going to see a lot of additional relief from these horrible regulations that have been killing our country. They've literally been killing. As you noticed, GDP was just announced, and shockingly to a lot of people, despite the hurricanes, which possibly could be considered to be 1 point, we were at 3. And we were at 3.2 last quarter, but we were at 3. And to be at 3 with a 1 point, that would have meant we would have hit 4 or thereabouts. And those are numbers that have not been seen for many years. So we're doing well, and we'll continue to do well. The big thing is we have companies that really want to move back into the United States now because of regulation, because of what we're doing with taxes. And some big ones are going to be announcing very soon. Dirk, could I ask you to say a few words from the National Association of Wholesale Distributors? That would be great.
First thing, Mr. President, thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. A few of us in the room are old enough to remember being in this same room when President Reagan was working on tax reform. You and me. 2 of us at least, right?
You don't look that old.
Yeah. Tom was here. 30 years or so passed. The tax code doesn't resemble what was done in '86. Reform is long, long overdue. I represent an industry with very high effective tax rates. Frankly, they're tired of paying the other guy's taxes. Unstated, but I assume that the kind of price of admission for being here today is that you support the process going forward. Obviously, each of us have to see the details, and there may be one thing or another that we'd like to see different, but the broader perspective is that for the good of the economy, the good of the country, and frankly, I think the good of our members, you have to support the process going forward. You have our commitment to do precisely that.
That's great.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's really great. I appreciate it. I think so important. You know, we talk tax cuts, which is really, to me, the very big thing, the tax cuts. We desperately need them, but so many other things are happening, including bringing $4 trillion back into the United States. And that money is going to be put to work in our country for our people, creating our jobs and factories and plants. I think the number could be higher than $4 trillion. It's been $2.5 trillion for so long. Everyone said $2.5 trillion, but it's gotten obviously a lot bigger. They just kept saying 2.5. I think the number is going to be well over $4 trillion. Will be coming back into our country, and so many other things. One of the other elements that are important, Karen, and you're going to say a few words next because I'm dying to hear what you have to say. But one of the things so important is simplification. Too complicated, and we're simplifying it greatly. And I want to thank all of my folks for being here and working on it. Gary, Steve, everybody. The process is complicated, but the end result will not be that complicated. It's going to be people are going to pay less tax by a lot. Companies are going to pay less tax by a lot. That's a big difference. And companies are going to start rebuilding, and they're going to stay here, and they're going to expand, and they're going to build new plants in this country. They won't be going to other countries like they have been for many, many decades. Karen, could you say a few words? Small Business Entrepreneurship Council.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Mr. President, for your support and leadership on this issue. This is really one of the most critical issues for small business, and they know if they get tax reform through, they're going to have more capital to put back into their businesses. They're going to invest more. They're going to provide higher wages, better benefits for their employees. You know, these business owners and entrepreneurs are also leaders at the community, back in their communities, and they do see the lack of dynamism, the lack of business dynamism, and they don't see new business creation in their communities. And that's a really serious problem in this country, the lack of entrepreneurship, weak entrepreneurship. According to our numbers, 3.2 million missing businesses in our country because of people not taking risks. Right. So we're very excited about tax reform in terms of the growth it will bring, the investment it will bring, making the U.S. a haven for capital again, because we need to get that edge back and need to encourage more people to start businesses, particularly millennials starting businesses again, which is going to add to our competitiveness. So thank you.
One of the things that we've been talking about and that we've seen, and there's never been anything like it, is the level of enthusiasm the enthusiasm for business, for manufacturing. It's the highest level it's ever been, highest level since the charts started. And we have a tremendous level now of enthusiasm for business and for manufacturing, and nobody's ever seen anything like it. And of course, the stock market is at an all-time high, historic high. There's never been, I mean, it's going up, I think it was 54 times since I was elected. We've hit the record 54 times. And I notice it's up again a little bit today, so that's always good. But we're going to try and keep it going up. But we've created almost $5.5 trillion in stock market wealth. Think of that, $5.5 trillion since November 8th. So we're very honored by all of that, but a very big part of it will be tax cuts and tax reform, and we'll work on that together. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
What is your reaction?
Say it. We're not looking for that. No, we're not looking for that. Hopefully not.
You wanted to start
Something. Some people have mentioned that. Hopefully not.
Are you gonna pardon Mr. Manafort?
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Mr. President, what's your reaction? George Papadopoulos.
Thank you very much.
Your reaction to the guilty plea, Mr. President? To the door. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We won't be standing up.
So one of the things that would enable us to move forward on EPA nominations that are not controversial would be for the folks at the EPA, including their administrator, to finish the job they've begun in terms of responding to, I think, a very legitimate questions on a wide range of issues that they had jurisdiction over, shared jurisdiction over. That if they were to do that part of the job, the non-controversial nominations, which are pretty good ones too, would move along much more quickly.
And now, are you, when you say they're focused on the judicial nominations first to go to the floor, can you give an estimate as to, are you talking about the EPA nominations be pushed back to next month or to the beginning of next year? Like, what can you estimate?
I rather than tell you something I'm not sure of, let me just leave
No,
it
go
what I
ahead.
said.
Please, feel free to tell me.
Senator?
Thanks, Senator.
Hey, Eric Katz with Government Executive.
What do you want, Eric? Normally I only take one question after I'm just kidding.
Well, I was wondering what you thought.
Before you are leaders of this country and certainly leaders on this subject, and you know more about it than anybody. We need you to be united, committed, and proactive in order to overcome the forces fighting. And there are forces fighting out there that very much benefit by the way it is now, but that's bad for the country. They know that, but they're fighting for themselves. They're not fighting for the country. In a few days, I'll be traveling to Asia to advance America's economic and national security priorities. I'm counting on all of you to be back here working to maintain our momentum on tax reform and tax cuts And that will be a short period of time. I'll be away for about 10.5 days, and we'll get back very quickly. We're meeting in China, in South Korea, in Japan. We're going to Vietnam. We're going to the Philippines, which is a strategically important location where the previous administration was not exactly welcome, as you probably remember. The Democrats will say our tax bill is for the rich, but they know it's not. And what they will do is they don't even know the tax bill. The tax bill hasn't even been really put out yet. It will be over the next short period of time. But they immediately say, oh, it's for the rich, because that's the right thing to say. I mean, for them, but it doesn't work, and they know that. In fact, I think we'll have some Democrats joining us and voting for us for the reduced taxes, because it's a tax bill for middle class, it's a tax bill for jobs, it's going to bring a lot of companies in, and it's a tax bill for business, which is going to create the jobs. We're bringing it down from 35 down to 20. While I'm in Asia, members of my cabinet will be traveling all around the country, talking directly to taxpayers and focusing on the regional media, which we find to be a much more credible media, to be honest with you. In fact, I found it to be incredible how good they are. Of course, Secretary Mnuchin, Director Cohen, and my entire economic team will remain totally focused on tax reform. They'll be staying here, and we'll continue to work closely with all of you. They've had a great relationship with most of the people in the room. We need your continued input to make sure that the final bill gets all of the details right and that we get that approval. I want the House to pass a bill by Thanksgiving. I want all of the people standing by my side when we get ready to sign by Christmas. Hopefully before Christmas, you'll all be in the room standing front row center. I think we'll be able to find a place where you can all stand front row center. It'll be a big event. It'll be the biggest tax event in the history of our country. Thank you all for being here today. We have a couple of folks that I'd like to have say maybe a couple of words while we leave the media. Tom Donahue has been president and CEO of U.S. Chamber of Commerce for a long time. Tom, do you have anything to say?
Well, thank you very much for having the meeting, Mr. President.
Thank you, Tom.
The business community has been waiting a long time for an administration and a president and a willing Congress to do what we haven't done for many decades. We think we were lucky to arrange a budget, so we're going to have a better opportunity in the Senate. I think you're right. There are some members of the Democratic legislature that will come around on some of this, particularly if the numbers are as promised. And you've hit it right on the head. We've got to work on it. We're going to have some differences amongst the business community on what should be the takeaways in the ads, but we just have to work on that. And I think your planning is really quite good. Off to Asia, and everybody else get it worked out, and then come back and we'll see what
Come back and let's see what we have. Right?
Thank you very much.
Well, I appreciate it very much. And what you said is important. We did get the budget passed, and as you know, that was a big event because that doesn't often happen. And we got it fairly easily passed. I think we had a couple of extra votes if we needed them, and more than a couple of votes if we needed them. There's great spirit for this. The Republicans have a tremendous spirit. We'll have no Democrat support. We may have on the tax cuts because I think it's going to be very hard for 5 or 6 of them to run successfully saying they want to raise taxes. Look, the Democrats want to raise taxes and really create obstruction, and the Republicans want to lower taxes, and we want to get rid of regulations. I've gotten rid of more regulations in the first 9 months than any president has for their term in office. That's a big statement, but we've really just begun. I would say we have at least another 50% that we want to do. So that's going to be fantastic. In some cases, it's statutory where you have to give a notice, and then you have to give another notice, and you have to wait 90 days. But we've gone along that statutory process, and I will tell you, Tom, you're going to see a lot of additional relief from these horrible regulations that have been killing our country. They've literally been killing. As you noticed, GDP was just announced, and shockingly to a lot of people, despite the hurricanes, which possibly could be considered to be 1 point, we were at 3. And we were at 3.2 last quarter, but we were at 3. And to be at 3 with a 1 point, that would have meant we would have hit 4 or thereabouts. And those are numbers that have not been seen for many years. So we're doing well, and we'll continue to do well. The big thing is we have companies that really want to move back into the United States now because of regulation, because of what we're doing with taxes. And some big ones are going to be announcing very soon. Dirk, could I ask you to say a few words from the National Association of Wholesale Distributors? That would be great.
First thing, Mr. President, thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. A few of us in the room are old enough to remember being in this same room when President Reagan was working on tax reform. Two of us at least. Right?
You don't look yet right now.
Tom was here. 30 years or so passed. The tax code doesn't resemble what was done in '86. Reform is long, long overdue. I represent an industry with very high effective tax rates. Frankly, they're tired of paying the other guy's taxes. Unstated, but I assume that the kind of price of admission for being here today is that you support the process going forward. Obviously, each of us have to see the details, and there may be one thing or another that we'd like to see different, but the broader perspective is that for the good of the economy, the good of the country, and frankly, I think the good of our members, you have to support the process going forward. You have our commitment to do precisely that.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you. That's really great. I appreciate it. I think so important. You know, we talk tax cuts, which is really, to me, the very big thing, the tax cuts. We desperately need them, but so many other things are happening, including bringing $4 trillion back into the United States. And that money is going to be put to work in our country for our people, creating our jobs and factories and plants. I think the number could be higher than $4 trillion. It's been $2.5 trillion for so long. Everyone said $2.5 trillion, but it's gotten obviously a lot bigger. They just kept saying 2.5. I think the number is going to be well over $4 trillion. Will be coming back into our country, and so many other things. One of the other elements that are important, Karen, and you're going to say a few words next because I'm dying to hear what you have to say. But one of the things so important is simplification. Too complicated, and we're simplifying it greatly. And I want to thank all of my folks for being here and working on it. Gary, Steve, everybody. The process is complicated, but the end result will not be that complicated. It's going to be people are going to pay less tax by a lot. Companies are going to pay less tax by a lot. That's a big difference, and companies are going to start rebuilding, and they're going to stay here, and they're going to expand, and they're going to build new plants in this country. They won't be going to other countries like they have been for many, many decades. Karen, could you say a few words? Small Business Entrepreneurship Council.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Mr. President, for your support and leadership on this issue. This is really one of the most critical issues for small business. And they know if they get tax reform through, they're going to have more capital to put back into their businesses. They're going to invest more. They're going to provide higher wages, better benefits for their employees. You know, these business owners and entrepreneurs are also leaders at the community, back in their communities, and they do see the lack of dynamism, the lack of business dynamism, and they don't see new business creation in their communities, and that's a really serious problem in this country, the lack of entrepreneurship, weak entrepreneurship. According to our numbers, 3.2 million missing businesses in our country because of people not taking risks. Right. So we're very excited about tax reform in terms of the growth it will bring, the investment it will bring, making the U.S. a haven for capital again, because we need to get that edge back and need to encourage more people to start businesses, particularly millennials.
Tax reform bill, and I'm excited about the progress that we're making. We've got one goal in mind with tax reform, Mr. President, providing real relief to ordinary Americans, to the parents who are questioning whether they can afford the car that they need to fit their growing family, to the single mom wondering how she is going to pay the bills this month, to the middle-aged couple worrying about a secure retirement. Everything in our tax reform framework is centered on providing relief to these Americans. To start with, we're going to provide them with a substantial amount of direct relief by lowering their tax rates and doubling the standard deduction so that they're keeping more of their paycheck every month. We're also going to significantly expand the child tax credit. And we're going to simplify and streamline the tax code so that it's easier for Americans to figure out what benefits they qualify for, and so they don't have to spend a lot of time and money filing their taxes. All of these reforms mean more money in Americans' pockets. But, Mr. President, we're not stopping there. We're also going to focus on reforming the business side of the tax code so that we can give Americans access to the kind of jobs, wages, and opportunities that will set them up for a secure future. In order for individual Americans to...
All right, guys, we're going to come back into the newsroom to give you another inside look. So if you're still on with us, thanks for watching. I'm back with Raisa, who I usually have on in the morning, at least to open up the show and talk a little social media. We were working hard getting social media for the show this morning.
It's a crazy, super morning.
So back to Halloween talk. Yeah, it's Halloween, obviously. We did our special that we were kind of talking about. And for the morning show, we pretty much wanted our digital viewers to get a snippet of it, at least as much as they could.
Absolutely.
So we did a bunch of Instagram Lives,
Snapchat,
Insta Story,
Twitter,
Snapchat.
We even did a live, guys. We totally introduced that.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And what was really cool, we were talking about this earlier, is the behind the scenes because, the bunny is here, yay! I hope she'll see that you stayed on, and Aaron, if you're, yay, we finally got it. We folded one of her ears so it's a little, natural.
Because earlier,
it's cute.
One of our anchors asked, are you a bat or a bunny?
I could see the bat if you really make them shorter and curl them, but...
I mean, bats are kind of cute, I guess, but no, guys, I'm a bunny.
I'm a mouse. But I have a bunch of different things that I'm rotating between because we know how to have fun as adults for Halloween. And we have to have fun. But what was really cool, the behind the scenes, the studio audience was really cool. And we got a glimpse of some of their costumes. Obviously, a lot of, what was it? It was a mix of stuff. Superheroes, characters from different shows. I'm trying to think of some of the ones that stood out, but there were a lot.
Santa Claus apparently also decided to venture into Halloween, kind of like a Nightmare Before Christmas.
There were some cats, there were some monsters. There was a Stranger Things outfit.
Yes. Oh, Stranger Things.
Love it. Something relevant.
We had some dogs too. We were talking about their health care,
right.
just like wellness overall. And they had them dressed up too.
The dogs were dressed up. They were on air. That was so cute.
What did we have? A super pup.
Yeah. And their owners.
Yeah. So that was cool. But really, guys, it takes a month long to plan this. What is it? 1 hour block of our morning show, which is just astonishing to me because all this planning executed in 1 hour, but let's just say it was amazing, so worth it. I know our producers were stressed. I mean, as all projects bring the stress. Really good. Exactly. We want to bring nothing but the very best, and they completely executed that.
And it turned out really well.
So good, too.
Yeah. Were you able to get some of that content on our Instagram?
So finally, after a few tries, our content is definitely uploaded. So you get the intro of our calling card as to why these superheroes basically came to rescue local morning news and put in a few little snippets, and then of course we had to incorporate a group shot. We shouted out the people that definitely made all of this happen because it takes a big try.
It did, and you guys got to see Tam Lee earlier, who helped with who did the costumes, and I didn't know she rented some of them from LA. She got like legit costumes, so she didn't want them to be just out of a box, and she wanted to really work on them. And some of the bigger ones, Allison's and Steve's, were from LA, and it's just really interesting to see how much they put into it. Speaking of LA, there's actually a bump shot coming in of Dodger City, LA, because the World Series is being played there right now. So actually, let's show them that because that's funny because we're just saying that. Other than that, guys, we just have a live video, hey Steve, of the Senate floor talk coming in. But yeah, here's your bump shot of Dodger Stadium, guys. So that's
are you watching?
Like we're watching. So I didn't watch the big one that everyone watched that went to 11 innings, Game 5.
Yeah,
I missed. Did you guys stay up for it?
No, I didn't.
It was I guess Sunday night
or
Monday. Yeah.
Was it Sunday? I think it was Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like missing the days. Now they're getting bump shot set, but yeah, I didn't get to see the one that was really a hot ticket one that everyone was talking about. But I'll be kind of eyeing the last couple games. So excited. So anyway, they're just getting that bump shot ready, but we'll take it back in. Okay. Yeah, so a really eventful morning, really fun morning, social media-wise, of course, and digitally. At least we got them uploaded and stuff. It was hard. There's a lot of content. They were big videos and files.
And it takes a lot, too. I mean, honestly, me and Molly tag teaming off each other, and even then, so it's like, can somebody else help? It takes a lot. We want to be strategic about it. We want to make it as creative and fun as possible. And sometimes, when you're in the moment, just pushing something out, you miss something else. So this is where the tag team comes into play. We're able to just kind of bounce off each other. What I miss, she gets, and vice versa.
And we get the videos uploaded.
Yes,
And it was a
high
lot.
five.
Yeah, girl.
The teammate. Oh.
It was so fun. It was really fun. It was really lively, entertaining.
Yeah.
I have some viewers saying the bunny looks great, looks fantastic. Yes, she does.
Thank you, guys.
Also, I see a Go Astros, so someone from Houston, or at least Astros fan. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with the series. But yeah, we're gonna kind of just roll through the afternoon, see what's coming up, and keep it varied for you guys. Again, if you're new to the stream, we're Fox 5 Live, so just a live stream from our newsroom during the day. We want to talk about what you want to talk about, and just kind of bring you the relevant topics. And a lot of the time, social media really is our relevant digital topics for kind of what's what's I guess current and interesting,
current, trending, viral,
human interest, viral, and of course the live stuff is are the sources that we get in via our video sources.
You got it all covered, Molly.
I guess.
You do such a good job.
Oh my gosh.
You do. She does.
Oh, thanks, guys. But did anything stick out to you, or you kind of focused on the show this morning?
Oh my gosh, just completely focused on the show. Totally invested in that. So kind of winding down the day, leaving out a little earlier today, but that's okay. I think our digital team has it covered as far as peeping and staying in tune with what's trending and what's going viral. So they're doing a good job at pushing that out. So if you guys want to get a little snippet of what we did on the morning show, just head to our Instagram page.
Yeah, I was telling them earlier,
Snapchat.
it's a really good way to see it because we even saved the live video, right? So they can see that.
We saved a live video.
We have a live behind the scenes video. We have a couple Insta stories, of course, and Snapchat as well. So Fox 5 DC is the handle on all platforms.
We got you covered.
Yeah, we are covered. And then we go into November tomorrow. Can you believe it?
Oh my gosh, no.
I know. I was just thinking about that.
The one upside Sunday, our clocks are reversed
an
an hour.
I was wondering when that was. I will tell you
hour.
guys, every weekend prior to this, I was asking friends, like, wait, is this Saturday? I was like, I'll hear it in the news. I'll hear it on our news.
Yeah.
I'll hear it. And then I didn't hear it. And I was like, am I just behind on this? But turns out it's this Sunday.
It's this Sunday.
Saturday night, right?
Saturday night. So technically 12 well, no, it hits when it's 1 o'clock and then it reverses to 12, I think.
And also, that just means more darkness, which is like the worst.
More darkness. I know, because it's already a struggle getting up in the morning because it's getting cold
and that's
in
why I
DC.
thought it already hit. And then I was like, no, I'll hear it when it's fall back.
Because I thought it was supposed to be Halloween weekend.
I always thought it was
guess it's like
October.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's coming up this weekend, November already. And October is done, which is our favorite month. It's our birthday month. A lot of people's birthdays months. And it's just a great fall month. And I'm sad to see it go. I always am.
Yeah. Because I feel like now we're trickling into winter and I am not ready for that.
Dude,
I'm not.
it's already November.
I'm
Can you
not
guys
liking
believe
the
it?
40
Let me
degrees.
know. I know one of you, Schulte, you're in Washington State. Where is everybody else from? I've asked you guys before, some of you who are regulars, but a lot of you guys are kind of just checking in. Let us know where you're watching from. We're here in DC, obviously, and it's sort of the standard fall weather. We have a crisp, cool fall night tonight for Halloween. They were saying really, pleasant, bundled up weather today or this week for trick-or-treating. And
you doing some trick-or-treating?
So everyone's asking me. I might. I'm in a really cool area with maybe some interesting, fun families, so I might do some candy, but I don't know otherwise. I'm too old to trick or treat.
Oh, I know.
I like
I'm going to go trick or treat to my girlfriend's house.
Oh,
I'm just going to go
fun.
knock on the door. I want to see her baby open it. So
you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to our trick or treat in the office because we're going around the different states. We're going around to like the IT department, the news department. We were talking to you about this earlier because Monica was promoting it. She was talking about it. She's like running it.
Oh, this is awesome. Wait, fill me in.
It's like a trick or treat around the office.
I don't even know what's going on.
Trick or treat around the office. I guess we go to the different stations. They're making it fun.
That's cute.
It's fun to bring everybody together.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel because we're so almost segregated because we have our finance and our sales department upstairs and the news is downstairs.
Oh yeah,
so it gives people a chance to kind of like intermingle and just chat it up.
Yeah.
But okay, guys. Well,
that was a good little segment. You always want to have Rice on to talk to some social, so we'll have her on again tomorrow and the next weeks. And yeah, we're gonna go back to the Senate floor, guys. I'll do a duo shot of the two live shots that we have. The live shot of LA prior to the next World Series game coming up, and also they're chatting on the Senate floor. I think about sort of federal budgets and tax reform, and also money going to disaster relief and whatnot like that. So some relevant topics there. So we'll keep it kind of varied, and then we'll check back in with you guys, and then we're gonna go to that bump shot and go to our little Halloween gathering.
Yeah,
it's just a fun little day for us in the office. But thanks so much for staying on the stream, guys. We love you. We value you guys as viewers. So stay on with us and subscribe.
Yes.
And follow our Insta and Snapchat too.
Absolutely.
And we'll cross post and everything.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Back to this double shot of the two streams, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Bye.
But it is simply disturbing nonetheless. It is a scary thing when leaders of a major political party imply that there is no role for religious people in public life. And I don't need to tell anybody that that's contrary to everything that our founders stood for. The right to be able to practice religion freely, yes, in public too, was so fundamental to the founders' understanding of liberty that they made it the very first freedom mentioned in the Bill of Rights. People of faith have made incalculable contributions to our country, and faith has driven some of the greatest movements in American history, from the abolitionist movement to the civil rights movement. I hope the Democrat Party doesn't move further down the path of excluding religious people from public life. Mr. President, if they ever succeed in excluding people of faith from government, they will have destroyed one of the freedoms on which our country rests. Mr. President, I yield the floor.
The senator from Alaska.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent for an appropriate amount of time to finish my remarks.
Without objection.
Mr. President, one of the great things that, one of the privileges really about being in the Senate is actually being to preside, as you're doing right now, to sit in the chair, presiding officer of the Senate, and listen and watch my colleagues talk about issues that matter to them. A lot of times, issues that matter to their states. And, you know, we have this amazing country of ours, so many great states. I get to hear great stories, great traditions when I'm presiding. Some relate to Texas, where the presiding officer is from. And, you know, celebrating our unique traditions while still appreciating that at our best, we share values as Americans together. Opportunity, liberty, justice, fairness really is one of the things that makes the Senate a great body and what makes us strong as a nation. And so, Mr. President, one of the things I like to do is come down to the Senate floor and pass on and talk about some of the traditions in my state. Some of the things that I think makes Alaska the greatest state in the nation. I know some of my colleagues won't fully agree with that, but we all get to brag about our state. And when I do that, I like to talk about this individual who we recognize as the Alaskan of the Week. Often somebody who's doing something in a remote part of Alaska that not a lot of people know about that's very, very important. And to share that with my colleagues in the Senate and other Americans watching on TV. And I would like to today, Mr. President, recognize a young Alaskan from Gamble, Alaska, named Chris Apasuguk, a young whaler who's helping to keep the traditions that we have in Alaska, Alaska Native whaling, alive and well, and he is our Alaskan of the Week. So this year, Chris was a keynote speaker at the Elders and Youth Conference, which is a precursor to the Alaska Federation of Natives Conference held each year in one of our cities. It's the largest annual gathering in the United States of any Native peoples, and there's nothing like it in all the country. AFN, as we call it in Alaska, is certainly a highlight of my year. My wife and I and our kids always try to get there. So let me spend a few minutes talking about why Chris's speech about whaling was so important and what happened after he landed a huge bowhead whale in Alaska, and why that was so inspiring for so many in my great state, but really around the country. Gamble, Alaska is where Chris calls home. It is a Yupik village about 700 people on St. Lawrence Island on the northwest edge of Alaska. It's one of 11 Alaska communities that participate in 2 whaling seasons recognized and authorized by the International Whaling Commission. And these are subsistence communities. So what does that mean? Subsistence communities, meaning whale meat is actually a necessity in feeding these communities. I should point out that we have no road systems at all in northern Alaska. Most of Alaska has no roads that connect it to community, and certainly not in Gamble. And Mr. President, you and I have had the opportunity to travel around Alaska. You've seen our great state, and you know that many communities are only accessible by air or seasonal barge. Some can only be reached by certain times of the year because of the weather, and these communities need food, and they need whales. The annual bowhead whale migration provides the largest subsistence resource available in these remote areas of our great state. Even so, when a whale is taken, the sharing does not stop with the residents of the community. Each whale produces between 6 and 25 tons of food on average. This meat is shared with other subsistence communities in our state and with family members and elders throughout the state. A hugely important part of Alaska Native culture. And this is another example of the resourcefulness of Alaska Native peoples that have enabled them to survive in the Arctic, some of the toughest weather and conditions anywhere in the world, for millennia, and that have shaped the culture of Alaska and the character of our state today. So back to Chris. He's an extraordinary hunter, even by standards of Gamble, a community of extraordinary hunters. He could aim and shoot a rifle at the age of 5. By 11, he'd train himself to strike whales. As one writer put it, quote, standing steady in front of the skiff with a gun, riding the Bering Sea swells like a snowboarder. This past April, Chris and his father set out on a boat in the Bering Sea to do what their ancestors have been doing for thousands of years. After they got a bearded seal, they spotted a spouting bowhead. Chris took the first shot, and it was accurate, and it was a huge whale, 57 feet, 11 inches. It took 2 hours to tow it to shore and 4 days for the community to carve it up. As always, when a whale is landed, it's time for celebration in the community, and this time was no different. But, Mr. President, shortly after this, things unfortunately went sour for Chris and the community. A radical special interest activist with a large online following read the story about Chris and the whale, and he began to attack Chris, and so did many of his followers from all across the globe. Hundreds of people, most of them adults, cyberbullying and attacking a 16-year-old boy from Gamble, Alaska, who had at that point only left his village once in his life. Shameful. No respect, no civility, and I mean vicious attacks, Mr. President. I won't repeat them here. It's enough to say that they were greatly upset in the community. Chris, his family, his mother cried all night. Chris was angry that he and his family were being attacked for partaking in this necessary tradition that his community and his ancestors have been doing for thousands of years. Thousands of years. However, this young man, despite the hateful messages from adults who live a world away, despite the names they were calling him, Chris, now 17, cut through the noise, stood strong, gave a great speech at AFN, and he will continue to hunt and feed his family and his community the way his ancestors have done for millennia. At his speech last week at AFN, he said, "Will you stand with me as I continue my hunting traditions of my family?" And the crowd applauded, all of whom rose when he said this. "Will you stand with me as we continue our subsistence activities that we have undertaken for thousands of years?" Mr. President, I hope that everyone across the country stands with this extraordinary young man. Truly brave,
Carlos, restricted. Oh, you guys are going to be shot? I don't know. I don't know if the broadcast is not.
Hey guys, if you are just coming out with us, thanks for sticking with our stream here. We are just taking a live look on Capitol Hill. This is a stakeout in the Senate after some of these hearings regarding tax reform, regarding federal funding for disaster relief, and the like. So we're going to just kind of see what kind of live sources we have coming in today, keep you in the loop of what's live and breaking, and go from there. Thanks so much for staying with us on the break.
That's the other
Control around. Oh, okay, all right.
Okay. Elevators and down the subway. I'm sorry.
Hey, which I need Okay. Right now, you can move over there. It's more restricted. When we go security, you'll be locked down wherever you are. Right. So if those guys are going to have to move over here, I don't know. I mean, not more secure than that. We got movement, Dave. Dave, we have movement. Okay, we have movement. All right, back up there. Pull it up.
John Moran? He heard something.
He did.
Yesterday he came over and said he couldn't talk about, he didn't know much about the buzz on the floor because he was in the chair the whole time and he, was asking about the indictments and things. Then he came back over and a few minutes later he goes, I gotta go back to the chamber, I forgot to vote.
Hi guys, if you are still on with us, Molly here in the DC Digital Newsroom. Thanks so much for staying on the stream. It's Halloween day here today. We had a good top of the show kind of chatting about some of the costumes in the newsroom and recapping our awesome Halloween show. For more on that, more video and still footage, check our Snapchat and our Instagram accounts. At Fox 5 DC is our handle. We have a ton of great, we worked really, really hard on the digital content from this morning. So that's sort of mainly what we'd been talking about this morning. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of really super titillating or engaging video or content for you now. But we are sort of still on this live shot here at the Senate Stakeout. You just never know kind of who is going to come out and if they'll be willing to speak. But Iran and some other regulars, thanks so much for staying on, and have a great Halloween if we don't see you till tomorrow. So thanks for joining us on the stream. We'll have some more guests throughout the week, tomorrow and whatnot, and I want to leave you with a really cool video from a police department in Tarpon Springs, Florida. They put together a cool video for part of a charity to help kids with allergies, and they did a thriller type Halloween dance. So I'm going to close out the show with that video because it looks like we're not going to get too much action, I don't think, on Capitol Hill. The reporters there just kind of have to wait and hope that they get something there. So we're going to leave you with that video, but guys, have a great, safe Halloween tonight, and we'll see you again tomorrow on the stream at 11:30, so don't forget to join us. It'll be really great to go into the midweek and another Wednesday, and also November. The month of November starts tomorrow. Clocks don't turn back till the weekend, so you have a little time on that, but we'll have some more interesting video for you tomorrow, hopefully. But Halloween was a great wrap, great show this morning. If you didn't catch it, when this stream stops, you can go back and kind of see some of our interviews from the morning with some of the characters in our newsroom. And again, check our social media for more on that and our website as well. We'll be continuing to post stuff, cool pictures and whatnot. We'll try to put it all together. So check us out there, guys. All right, I'm going to leave you with this cool video from the Tarpon Springs Police Department in Florida, raising awareness for the Teal Pumpkin Project, again, to help kids with allergies. And they put together this Halloween-themed video, so check it out.